All right, Coach, back in-house here at Westbrook Christian with Coach Steve Smith. And Coach, you guys coming back off the loss. You and I talked off camera, and you wanted to see how the guys reacted to it, responded to it. You had to like what you said last week, 49-0 victory over Mumford. And look, Mumford had some guys too, so for they to go out there and execute like they did, talk to us about that performance last Friday night.
Very proud of our guys. Coming back off the loss week 4 over to Piedmont, and that was first loss of the season, not really knowing how our guys were going to react, how they were going to bounce back, and then couple that with it being a non-region game that happened to be our homecoming week and all the other things that go on with homecoming, fun week at the school, great week for the kids. Everybody had a good time, the floats and stuff, all the stuff that they did was really, really cool.
Which were incredible.
They were incredible. But I tried to emphasize to the guys, our part with homecoming was to play the football game and make sure we won the football game. And we were playing a very talented group from Mumford. They got off to a very slow start, but as we mentioned last week, they're in a region. They had played Tallahassee, Hanley, and Bullock County, and then they had a rivalry game week 1 with Lincoln. So we were by far the smallest team that they had played up to this point, and it was a big challenge for our guys. They had a couple skill guys that could take it to the house. The quarterback played well against us. But our guys responded really well and come through all 3 phases of the game. Again, offense, defense, special teams contributing, and it was a good night for us.
This week, Coach, you have another set of challenges, a familiar foe. I remember going to some of the games with you and Ohatchee when you were at Piedmont. Those were absolutely fantastic games and wars. And Coach Jennings was a part of that over there from the defensive side of the ball back then. But now that he's back at Ohatchee, it's a familiar face. They went back to some of the traditional things. What have you seen from them on film?
They've got a great coach in Coach Jennings. I'm a big fan of his. I think he's one of the bright up and coming coaches in our state. He's done a tremendous job of getting the interest back out. They're a really young varsity roster. I think, and I might be off a little bit, but there's 43-man roster. He's got 5 seniors, 7 juniors, 9 sophomores, and then 21 freshmen.
Jeez.
And they've got an 8th grade on their varsity roster. So half of their roster's 9th grade or 8th grade.
Wow.
And, they've got some really talented kids. You can tell those guys are very talented, playing a lot of young guys. And he's doing things the way that they did them when he and Coach Martin, Coach Finley and I were there together. They went back to running the Ugly Eagle offense, very aggressive on defense, just like they were when he was the defensive coordinator. Going to take some time, I'm sure, for them to get their system back in place, transitioning back from the wide open offense that they were last year, where they threw the ball all over the place. But the thing about this particular Ugly Eagle version, it's known for its grinded out ball control. They throw the ball a lot more out of this set than what I can remember the Ohatchee teams in the past, and they throw it very effectively. They came out of the gate, lost their first 3, I believe, and then they've won the last 2 weeks. They beat Weaver in a region game, and then they beat Donahoe last week in non-region. Quarterback, very impressive to me. He's thrown 5 touchdown passes, I think, in the games that we've charted. They've got some hard-nosed runners, got some big linemen, and like I said, they're getting it together on the defensive side of the ball. They've tweaked a few things and look like they're comfortable in what they're doing now, so it's going to be a big challenge for us going to the Creek Bank on Friday night.
Talk about the Creek Bank for a minute.
Yeah.
It's a really cool, unique place, and those who haven't been there to watch a game, it's really, really cool atmosphere to watch a high school game.
It is, and if you've been there long enough, or if you've played there enough times over the years, you've watched the transition of the home sides, and you've seen the transition from where you used to dress down there literally by the creek in the end zone, and all the challenges that went with that, and they've got a great fan base there that they do a wonderful job of creating a great environment, a home field advantage, so to speak, for their team. They've really done a lot to improve their facilities, and it's a really nice place to go and watch a game.
My sister-in-law works there, and I got nieces and nephews that go there, so it's a really cool place. I get to go by there pretty often. And Coach Clark's dad coached there at one time, didn't he? Reagan Clark?
Yeah, in fact, Reagan Clark, he's in the Calhoun County Hall of Fame, and most of his accomplishments, he had a time that he was coaching at Piedmont. Bill and his son his brother both graduated at Piedmont, but Coach Reagan Clark is infamous for his time spent at Ohatchee. I think he actually was there for 2 separate stints as a head football coach, and had a lot of success there. And it's funny how when you mention Reagan Clark and you look at his imprint on football just in this 3 or 4 county area, and then all the people that come along off of his coaching tree, he's had a big impact on high school football in this part of the state.
Oh, ain't no doubt about it. Yeah, he was legendary, but long before people knew Bill Clark, they knew about Reagan Clark.
Well, and he had a staff there at one time at Asheville, if I'm not mistaken, that had him and he had Rush Probst and John Gross and Bill Clark, and all those guys were helping Reagan Clark at one time.
That's just.
Yeah, it's just a lot of branches that branched off of that.
Coach Farmer come in like right at the end of that or right after it. One of the two. Coach Raymond Farmer come in too.
Okay.
Right around that time. I know that for a fact because then he took over there. So which is crazy to think. Well, Asheville throughout history has had some coaches.
Oh yeah, if you look at the tradition, you look at the history of Asheville football. There's been some great coaches that have come through Asheville.
It's incredible. Right down the road from us. And know that. And I got a good one there now, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing really good. One you're very familiar with.
Oh, yeah.
I worked with him at Verizon. You worked with him here at Westbrook.
Yeah, I'm proud for Coach Sanders. I'm really excited for him.
4-1.
And they got off to a great start.
Yeah, I'm proud of him, man. Right. He's a good guy, and it couldn't happen to a better guy. Let's talk about Westbrook for a few minutes, Coach, if we can. From the start of the season, now let's just say summer workouts to now, what are some of the things you're really like, hey, I'm really pleased that we're doing this. This is some things that pleasant surprise for me, sort of sweet.
Well, I mean, just the energy that our guys are still bringing every day. I talked to them a little bit this past Monday about, I know it can get redundant coming in doing the same old thing every Monday, every Tuesday, but it's necessary for you to be able to maintain the level of success that we're wanting to maintain. The preparation part of it, Fridays has been fun for the most part this year because you try to make Friday where the kids can just go out there and play. You try to put the work in, as coaches, we come in on Sunday and our kids put the work in Monday through Thursday. Fridays is really supposed to be a fun time where you get to go out there and show off all the things you've been working on and the dividends of the hard work that you put in during the off season, during the summer. And that's something I've been most proud of at this point. I mean, of course, when you're winning, it's a lot easier sell to get the guys to stay committed to the process and stay committed to doing the little things right and stay committed to, being in the weight room. We're still in the weight room every day of the week doing something, before we ever go to practice and putting the time in on the film study and things of that nature, and then not getting caught up with what all the media folks and the newspaper folks are writing and saying about you because, each week is its own challenge. That this particular Friday night, anything that we've done up to this point doesn't really matter. Anything that Ohatchee's done up to this point doesn't really matter. It's going to be decided on Friday night by how those two teams go out and play on that particular Friday. But probably just the consistency. That's a word that I throw around a lot here in our program. The consistency that our kids are bringing each and every day to the preparation part of it so that you can go out there and just turn loose and play ball on Friday night.
Which is a blessing to the guys to get to do that each and every Friday.
100%. And then I tell our coaches, I don't believe in coaches trying to look smart on Friday night.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people that and to each their own. Everybody can do it the way they want to do. I'm not saying that my way is the right way. Heck, I still run the quarterback over the sideline. Everybody thinks that's
this guy's crazy.
That's dinosaur days, and I get it. But I watch some people that we play, and they come in with this elaborate system of setting up tents and chairs and benches and television monitors and iPads and all this, Again, if people like to do it that way, that's certainly their preference, and I got no problem with that. But I guess I'm just too simple and too shallow to be able to watch TV and try to coach a ball game at the same time. I mean, I'd rather prepare the kids during the week so that they know what they're supposed to do. They can go out there and have fun, than try to look like the smartest guy in the stadium on the sideline over there with an iPad trying to draw it up on the television monitor like I'm John Madden or something. I'd rather put the work in during the week, but that's my preference, and that's not a stab at people that choose to do it another way. There are some places that they may have the staffing that they can have cut-ups and things ready to look at halftime, and hey, more power to them. If that's what you want to do, that's certainly your call.
I see it all the time, and you're exactly right. Sometimes I wonder what they're doing over there. Because most of the times, a lot of people just sitting in chairs watching the game.
Well, I'll tell you this, it looks brilliant if you're winning.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're winning, of course, if you're winning, whatever you're doing, I guess looks brilliant, But it don't look great a lot of times if you're sitting there and you're finishing up 2-8 and getting outscored 35-10 every game, and
worth of
and you got all the stuff on the sideline. You open yourself up, I think, to a lot of criticism from people saying, and in the same way, if you got 12 coaches on your staff at a 1A school or something, it's hard to get any kind of sympathy if you got 12 coaches and 18 players or something, and it's one of those things that
a coach per player.
Yeah, well, different people do it different ways, and again, there's no one surefire way that works for every program. So, anytime I say something like that, it's not to mean that my way is the right way. There's plenty of times that I've seen other people do it differently, and it worked better.
Oh, I'm with you. I've seen the same thing. I kind of agree with you on that, 100%. Before I shut it down, Coach, I always like to kick it back to you for final thoughts.
Yes. Well, just we're in the second half of the regular season now. You've made it to the halfway point, and it seems like time flies. I guess as I get older, that halfway point seems like it gets here a lot quicker. But at this point in the season, we're 4-1. We're in a nice position right now with what we've done in the rearview mirror, as far as meeting our goals of trying to be in the 3A playoffs and seeing what can happen there. Because, like I tell the kids, once you get in that group of 32, then everybody starts with a 0-0 record, and of those 32, 31 of them end the season with a loss.
That's correct.
One team will put together a 5-game winning streak in the second season, so to speak, and you can't talk about the second season and who it's going to be without getting there. So right now within the region we're sitting 3-1. We're in good shape right now, but we still got 4 more region games to play in the second half of the year, and that will ultimately determine our fate and whether or not we're able to get in that playoff bracket, and I just hope that our kids will continue to work the way that they have. Got a tremendous group of young men to work with, coaches that are helping us out. Great support from our administration. It's just really been a lot of positive vibes about football at Westbrook right now, and our fan support and the support of our booster club and just everybody that has a role on Friday nights has been great. It's really been a great atmosphere to get to come to, whether it's home or away. They'll pack the stands Friday night at the Creek Bank, and we'll be loud and proud over there as well. And just want to see us be able to maintain that same level of consistency in our preparation, our support, and everybody doing their part and doing their job. It takes a lot of people to have a certain role to play for the team to be successful, and couldn't ask for any more buy-in than what we've got from everybody here in our town and the people here at the school. And so we just want to be able to continue that type of preparation and that type of consistency for the next 5 weeks of the regular season. And after play 10 games, see where we stand and see if we're in that playoff bracket, and then see what can happen.
Play 10 games for a chance at 11th.
That's it, and you can't look ahead. Every game, I tell the players this all the time. I say, don't be wishing your life away. Don't be looking so far down the road of what has to happen. I said, you just need to enjoy this moment at this game on this particular Friday, and at the end of the year, we'll add up all the W's and the L's, and we'll see if it's good enough to play any more after any bonus football.
That's right. We ain't promised tomorrow either.
No doubt.
Unfortunately, you see that kind of stuff happen too, which is
exactly.
This is kind of like the battle of 77 2.0.
Well,
right down the road.
Yeah, and it's great that we're able to be in a situation where us and Ohatchee, last year we were both part of that 4-way tie, and Ohatchee, they wound up getting in the playoffs because of tiebreakers. We were one of the 3 teams that were kind of odd man out, So
I remember that's crazy.
Yeah, and it showed the quality of the football. Piedmont was kind of on a different level than everybody else. Then Locust Fork last year was, I think, 6-2, and then there was 5 of us tied at 4-4, and you really couldn't come to a conclusion from that because nobody in that group of 5 beat all the other 4 head to head. It was kind of a mix and match type deal, but being able to be just down the road from Ohatchee, I know they're in Calhoun County, but it's a relatively short trip. It's one of our shorter trips of the year as far as within the region, and a nice little rivalry, and a lot of respect for their team and their community and how crazy they are about their football there. And I feel like we have a great fan base here, people that are crazy about Westbrook football as well. So it should be a lot of fun on Friday night.
Coach, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.